What if I told you that a beloved former Canuck is ready to make a heartfelt return to Vancouver? That's right. In a recent surprise appearance, this iconic player expressed a strong desire to retire in a Canucks jersey, igniting a wave of nostalgia among fans. You won't want to miss this emotional journey as we dive into the details of his past, his regrets, and what it means for the future of the franchise. Be sure to subscribe and hit that like button to stay updated on all things Vancouver Canucks. Last night at Rogers Arena was one for the books, and it wasn't just because the Vancouver Canucks took down the Calgary Flames 3-1. No, the Real spark came from a surprise guest, Ryan Kesler. As he chugged a beer on the Jumbotron, the crowd erupted into a Ryan Kesler chant, reminding everyone just how much the fans appreciate what he meant to this franchise. This morning, Kesler sat down with Rick Dhaliwal and Don Taylor on Donnie and Daly. The team, and his words struck a chord. Kesler expressed a deep desire to retire as a Canuck, saying, "I would love that. My heart is definitely still here in the city." Looking back on his decision to leave Vancouver to chase a Stanley Cup, he admitted, "I can honestly say I regret that decision now." It's a sentiment that resonates with many of us, especially considering the tumultuous years that followed his departure and the mixed feelings he left behind. Let's not forget, Ryan Kesler has been a polarizing figure in Vancouver since his trade to Anaheim in 2014. While his ambition to win a cup was admirable, it seems that the fallout from that decision has lingered. Speculation about his relationships with teammates and the media scrutiny he faced only compounded the situation. He acknowledged, "People make mistakes, and I think we can all agree that time has a funny way of healing wounds." The roaring reception he received last night showed that perhaps fans are finally ready to embrace him once more. During his decade with the Canucks, Kesler was instrumental in one of the most successful periods in the team's history. He was a key player in the 2011 playoff run, stepping up in critical moments, like his stellar performance against the Nashville Predators, where he racked up 5 goals and 6 assists in just 6 games. Those memories are etched in the minds of Canucks fans, and they're part of what makes Kesler's potential return so intriguing. With 182 goals and 393 points in 655 games as a Canuck, Kesler certainly left his mark. When you add his time with the Anaheim Ducks, he finishes his career with 258 goals and 573 points over 1,001 games. It's hard not to look back and wonder what could have been if he had stayed in Vancouver. Would we have a championship banner hanging from the rafters? Now, as the Canucks continue to build toward the future, the question arises, how does Kesler's desire to retire as a Canuck play into the team's long-term vision? Can the organization find a way to honor his legacy while also focusing on current and future goals? You know how passionate I am about this team, and I can't help but feel torn. On one hand, bringing Kesler back as a symbolic gesture could boost morale, not just for him, but for the fan base as well. On the other hand, we need to ensure that we're not getting sidetracked from the real work ahead. So, I ask you, do you believe this is the right way to go? I honestly feel divided on this. As much as I want to see Kesler retire a Canuck, I also want to see this franchise take the next step toward the Cup. Can we afford to look back while still being focused on the future? I want to hear what you think. Share your expectations and frustrations in the comments below. This moment is more than just about one player. It's about the spirit of the Canucks and what it means to be part of this community. Let's keep the conversation going. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any essential updates. And remember to hit the notification bell to stay in the loop on everything Canucks. Ryan Kesler's recent comments about his career and his desire to retire as a Vancouver Canuck have struck a chord with many fans. And I think it's important we dive into what this could mean for the future of the franchise and for Kesler himself. After spending 15 seasons in the NHL, he certainly left a mark, particularly during his time with the Canucks. The man was a fan favorite, and rightfully so. He was a key player during some of the most successful years in Vancouver, contributing significantly to the team's performance and their memorable run to the Stanley Cup Final in 2011. However, we can't ignore the fact that Kesler's journey took him to Anaheim, where he hoped to chase the elusive Stanley Cup. In hindsight, it's clear he feels some regret about leaving Vancouver. Can you blame him? The Ducks made the playoffs 4 times during his tenure, yet they never reached the finals. Meanwhile, the Canucks, after Kesler's departure, have had a mixed bag of playoff appearances, but it's evident that his heart still beats for Vancouver. His recent statement about wishing to retire as a Canuck speaks volumes about his loyalty to the city and the franchise. Now let's talk about the implications of this. Kesler has expressed his desire to officially retire as a Canuck, and considering what we've seen with other players like Kevin Bieksa and Alex Edler, who recently signed one-day contracts to retire with Vancouver, it seems like a possibility. Fans would certainly welcome this. It would be a fitting tribute to a player who gave so much to the franchise. The question is, will the Canucks organization honor this wish? Wouldn't it be wonderful to see that number 17 jersey raised to the rafters? I can't help but feel a bit torn on this topic. On one hand, Kesler deserves this honor. It would be a beautiful way to close the chapter on his career. But on the other hand, it does raise questions about the current state of the Canucks. Are we in a place where we can celebrate past heroes while still building a competitive future? This is a delicate balance we have to consider. Looking at the current roster and the direction the Canucks are taking, there is hope. The organization seems to be focusing on a blend of youth and experience, which is crucial for long-term success. But how much can we rely on nostalgia when building a championship team? We've seen teams that cling too tightly to their past glory struggle to move forward. I want to hear from you, though. Do you think honoring Kesler in this way aligns with the team's current strategy? Or do you see it as a distraction? In terms of Kesler's legacy, he amassed 258 goals and 315 assists over his career, not to mention his physical style of play that endeared him to fans. His impact on the ice was undeniable, and he remains a central figure in Canucks history. But now, as we look to the future, can we find a way to blend that history with the present? The organization seems to be making strides, but we also have to acknowledge the frustrations that fans have felt over the past few years. With the Canucks only making the playoffs 3 times since Kesler's departure, there's a palpable sense of urgency to build a team that can contend again. So, if Kesler does retire as a Canuck, it could serve as a rallying point for fans, a reminder of what once was and what could be again. So, I throw this out to you. What are your thoughts? Do you believe this is the best decision for both Kesler and the Canucks? I honestly am divided on the issue. It's a complex topic, and I want to hear your opinions. What are your expectations for the team moving forward? Do you think honoring Kesler could inspire the current roster? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more insights and updates on the Vancouver Canucks. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you never miss an essential update. Let's keep the conversation going, and I can't wait to see what you all think.